Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and holy shit, did you see Game of Thrones? Incredible! What an ending! What an ending! I'm so fired up. I didn't want to take the 15 to 20 minutes it takes me to set up my little spot in front of my little new area over there. You know, I have to put the mic over there, then I got to put the camera up and set up the lights, and I got to measure and focus and all that. I said, screw that. I'm too fired up right now. I got to talk about this episode right now. So please, this is a vlog video. Please excuse the mess in the background. This was a great episode just for the end in and of itself. Jon Snow is back. Now it's confirmed. Obviously, there's no question anymore. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't know that was going to happen? Or this is it's so obvious. Yes, in some ways it was. But you got to understand, we've been through 6 seasons of this show, okay? 6 seasons. And they have taken so many characters away. And after last year with Lady Stoneheart not coming back, and who knows, maybe they'll revisit that. You know, and that disappointment, so many people were expecting her to come, and she never did. That this year, I said, you know what? I don't want to be caught up in what some people were caught up last year with Lady Stoneheart. So I'm going to keep my feelings reserved on the idea of Jon coming back. If he comes back, great. I know I'll be happy. I'll be excited. But if he doesn't come back, at least I've already dealt with that, because he is my favorite character, along with Tyrion and Arya. Those are my 3 favorite characters in the show. So now that he's here, I am super excited. And it's tough because it's like that happened and almost the whole episode just shot out of my head. I just couldn't even think about anything else. So we're going to go around the episode in no particular order, according to what I can remember after having that brain fart of Jon Snow coming back, exciting me to the point where I can't think straight. Got my Jon Snow keeping me company here. He's here. He's here. So I had to bring him next to me. I'm like, yeah. So, all right. So episode was solid overall, though. It was another good episode, progressing the story a little bit more. So we go to Meereen, and Tyrion has this crazy idea to go and unshackle the dragons. He has some knowledge of them based on history, and I got to give him credit. This guy's brave. For someone so small, when you think about all the things he's done in this show, what a brave character to walk into a dungeon of 2 dragons and just walk right up to them. And you see that he was very much correct on his assumption of their intelligence. You know, he goes up to the dragons. He knows they're not going to eat him. He knows subconsciously. He still has that fear, but he spoke about it when he says that they don't eat. When they're in captivity, they don't eat. They get depressed like any wild animal who's captive. You know, they get antsy. Like some animals obviously react with aggression. Some animals get depressed and they don't eat. So it makes perfect sense that the dragons were just like, all right, well, we'll just sit here and rot until we're dead. We'd rather be dead than be shackled. So it gave him an opportunity to approach them. You know, you could theorize that perhaps he smelled a little bit like Dany since he's been around her, and a strong scent that dragons have. Maybe they picked up on that maybe possibly he's an ally. You could theorize that. There's no evidence of it, but you can theorize that. And he approaches one dragon, and he very slowly, he's not showing aggression, which is good, and he unshackles the dragon. And then immediately you see that intelligence that he's talking about, because when he turns around to the other dragon, which is right in his face, the dragon eases back and positions himself for Tyrion to unshackle him. He does so, and he promptly leaves. Very wise. He doesn't push the envelope. He doesn't stick around. He doesn't try to play fetch. He leaves, and now you could safely assume, well, not even assume, obviously he's going to set them free, and I think this is going to be the opportunity for Dany to escape. I think those 2 dragons, coupled with the black dragon, are going to rescue her, and it's going to get ugly. There's going to be a lot of Dothraki burning when that happens, because And I don't think Daenerys will react in such a way where she doesn't want that to happen. I think she doesn't care. I think her reaction will be indifferent, because she certainly doesn't want to spend the rest of her life with other widows. And at the same, she has an agenda. She has a conquest she has planned. And I think that once the dragons come, whether they burn these people or not, she's going to be happy just to be out of there. She may try and control them. She may try and order them not to. They may listen. They may not. One way or another, those dragons are going to lead not only themselves, but maybe a group of Unsullied and Jorah and Dario to go and rescue Dany, and then she'll be out of that situation. But who knows? It might spark a war with the Dothraki, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. So we switch over to Westeros, where we learn that Tommen has prevented his mother from attending her own daughter's funeral. And out of safety for her, whatever the case may be, Jaime obviously very disappointed in him for his decision. And here's the interesting thing about this character. He's obviously a very good boy. He really is. And the burden and the responsibility of trying to run a kingdom, he just can't handle it. He can't. And, he goes to his mother. He apologizes. She's a little cold towards him until the end, because she does love her kids. And one thing I got to say about Cersei, as much as I hate her, she does love her kids. And she embraces him, and he asks her to teach him how to be strong, which basically is going to mean that she's going to run the show now. But the interesting thing is, when you think about the Sparrow, who did show up and confronted Jaime, I'm surprised they didn't try and capture Jaime, considering all the very all but evidentness of the fact that him and Cersei have had an incestual relationship. I'm surprised he didn't capture him. I'm surprised the Sparrow didn't go after him, because the Sparrow knows that. And I want to say, and I'm not saying Jaime would have went down easy. I think he would have taken out a good 70 to 80% of that force before they finally got him. So I don't know if that's something that's still a potential. They might maybe try and catch him off guard and sneak up, and one day when he's not looking, and a bunch of people just grab him and take him away. But it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out now, because you have to consider this Cersei is out for blood against this guy. So there's only a matter of time before she starts ordering the guardsmen, the Kingsguard, and her own men, the Lannister troops, to just wipe these people out. And it'll start a whole civil war within the city. And you still got Dorne. I know for a fact Dorne's not out of her mind. So who knows if that's going to turn into a war. We'll have to see. Now, very special moment, very nice moment between Sansa and Theon. I think at this point, Theon is a redeemable character. I really do. I think he's paid the price for all the bad he's done. In fact, I think he's paid a lot, because not only did he have to endure torture, but he had to endure embarrassment. And obviously, how his father feels about him. His sister's the only one that has any affection towards him and is concerned for his well-being. And when you consider all the opportunities that Theon had to get out of the clutches of Ramsay and to do something good, it must have taken a lot for him to escape and help Sansa escape, knowing that she's the key to Ramsay and his conquest. We'll get to that in a minute. So I think now at this point there is some redemption for this character. I know some people probably still don't agree, and that's fine. That's just how I personally feel. I think at this point he's dealt with enough. He made a big step last year when he helped her escape, because that was very, very important. And now he just wants to go home, and not that anything is any better there, but I think he's just done with it. He wants to get away. I don't think he wants to fight anymore. I don't think he wants anything to do with anything. In fact, if he goes home, I wouldn't be surprised if he says, all right, everything's fucked here, I'm leaving. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with him? Speaking of Ramsay, we saw this coming. The writing was on the wall. There's no surprise here that he killed his father. And I had a small percentage glimmer of hope against hope that he would let the woman go with his brother. But we knew the minute he walked into the dog pen, it was all over. That guy, he's cold-blooded, but I also think that in the long run, he made a huge mistake. Because, see, the thing about Ramsay is smart. He is smart. He's a good fighter, and he's brutal. But I don't think he's as smart as his father is. Although I would say his father should have known better than to trust his son and get that close. He had to have a thought in the back of his mind that his son would try to kill him or kill his wife and his kid. But be that as may, I think when it comes to battling and strategics, I think his father's a lot smarter, because he actually could have waited to do this. He didn't have to do this right away. His brother's not going to be... His brother's a blue baby. He's not going to have any kind of say in anything until he's like 18 or 21. So, and his father's still alive. So really the status quo doesn't change. So I think he acted too abruptly, and it's going to backfire, because now he doesn't have Sansa. He doesn't have his father, who wasn't very popular to begin with, but his son has a worse reputation. And now you have Sansa heading towards a wall, to a Jon Snow that is now alive again. And all this is pointing towards one thing: a battle at Winterfell with most of the North backing Jon Snow and Sansa Stark. And the only house that's going to be with Ramsay, in my opinion, is the house where, and I forget his name right now because it's been so long, and I think they mentioned it in the episode, but again, that ending just wiped out a lot of the episode. But the man who got his head cut off by Robb Stark, that house will, I think, might be the only house to back up Ramsay, and even that's questionable, because when they see the North rally to Jon and Sansa, they'll jump ship back onto the Stark side. So I think it's safe to say that this is leading, especially now that this happened in episode 2, this is going to lead to a war towards the end of the season that's going to have the North being taken back by Sansa and Jon. It will go to Sansa because she is a Stark. And who knows, maybe she'll have the power to make Jon a Stark instead of a Snow, much like what Bolton did to his son. So we'll see. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see what happens. But look, otherwise, it was a good episode. We got to see Bran up north briefly, having visions, and seeing his father and his uncle and his mother, and seeing Hodor, whose name is Willis, who can talk. So I'm hoping they explore that more, because I want to know why he went from that to what he is now. So very, very interesting episode. We saw that obviously the Red Lady is unaware right now that she has the power to bring life back. Man, and I'm glad they did this in the second episode. We didn't have to wait all season long as to whether or not Jon was going to return. He is back now. We have 8 more episodes of Jon Snow. I'm excited, man. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. We'll be back next week for episode 3 of Game of Thrones. Hopefully I'll be a little calmer and I'll take the time to set up the nice little corner I have over there instead of doing the webcam. But I really was excited that when that ended, and I just wanted to jump out here, talk about it, and get this video up so I can see what you guys think and see what you guys have to say about this episode. That's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and holy shit, did you see Game of Thrones? Incredible! What an ending! What an ending! I'm so fired up. I didn't want to take the 15 to 20 minutes it takes me to set up my little spot in front of my little new area over there. You know, I have to put the mic over there, then I got to put the camera up and set up the lights, and then I got to measure and focus and all that. I said, screw that. I'm too fired up right now. I got to talk about this episode right now. So please, this is a vlog video. Please excuse the mess in the background. This was a great episode just for the end in and of itself. Jon Snow is back. Now it's confirmed. Obviously, there's no question anymore. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't know that was going to happen? Or it's so obvious. Yes, in some ways it was. But you got to understand, we've been through 6 seasons of this show, okay? 6 seasons. And they have taken so many characters away. And after last year with Lady Stoneheart not coming back, and who knows, maybe they'll revisit that. You know, and that disappointment, so many people were expecting her to come, and she never did. That this year, I said, you know what? I don't want to be caught up in what some people were caught up last year with Lady Stoneheart. So I'm going to keep my feelings reserved on the idea of Jon coming back. If he comes back, great. I know I'll be happy. I'll be excited. But if he doesn't come back, at least I've already dealt with that, because he is my favorite character, along with Tyrion and Arya. Those are my 3 favorite characters in the show. So now that he's here, I am super excited. And it's tough because it's like that happened and almost the whole episode just shot out of my head. I just couldn't even think about anything else. So we're going to go around the episode.